Hello, everybody. It's me, the Man Bear on YouTube. I know it has been a minute. Trust me, I know it's been a minute. But I am back, and I know it's been a minute, like I just said 1,000 times. But I have a little special video for the Halloween season. As you can see behind next to me, I have a Michael Myers mask. This is Trick or Treat Studios Halloween Ends. I picked it up recently, like 2 weeks ago, and I thought I could just do a rehaul of it, try my best. I got most of the materials here, and if you're wondering where I've been having college, Shem Wick 4 is on hold. I've been holding off on making an announcement on that. I've been very busy, but it will resume in May, so don't worry, the film is still happening. But as of right now, the first thing we're gonna do, just for spooky season, because why I said not, we're going to repaint this mask, re-hair it. The hair is the thing I'm really cautious about because I haven't really done that before. The painting, I think I'll be okay on, but the mask, hair itself, not so much because it's already matted down. I started taking it out and using sandpaper to get the back because I have to paint in the back too. So, it's going to be a little bit of a process, but I feel like the end result will be worth it, and hopefully I don't mess it up too bad. I started by taking off the front hairline so it wouldn't get any paint on it. That is very important. And also, most people who do Michael Myers mask rehauls usually use it again. I tried to, but you'll see later in the video that I made some changes, but I'll get into that when I get into it. But I cut off the hairline so he's a little balding here, and I used some sandpaper so I could just mainly get off those excess hairs. And I just started to really see where I wanted it to be positioned, and then we started the painting process. So I used a mixture of a coat white paint acrylic and a cream acrylic color. I mixed that for my first coat. Now, this is very optional, and I'm going to change this very later on because there were some difficulties with keeping that white on because I did not have a concealer substance, so the white would stay where it needed to be even after it drying. But you usually will do this so you can really just get that first base white coat. And when you do your other detailing, the white will still be there while the detail's being added in later. Now, this is a pretty easy step to do. I did this multiple times. I think I did like 3 to 4 coats. I think maybe 5, but that was mainly because of the fact that it was not sticking how I wanted it to, so that's why I had to change it and go back and see what else I can do. And I tried a different method because, like I said, the white was not staying on for the clean side of the face, so I had to try something else. There is a lot of cut footage from this because, like I said, it was mainly me experimenting. And this is another important part, which you would usually do both sides of the mask, but it mainly worked on the burnt and moldy side where after the paint is supposedly dry, you take a paper towel and some very liquided, watered down black paint, and you just dab it away, like dab away the excess, and you'll get this really nice detailed dirty look, and it really brought out all of the details when it came to the burnt side. But for the clean side, I had to do something different. Now, before I went over the white side again, because I was not getting that nice pale look that I wanted, it was more of a polished clean white, which is not what I wanted. I just continued to design and dirty up the burnt moldy side. And for this, I used a mixture of brown and black and a little bit of, I think it was beige right there. And this was, oh, there you go, I see it right there. It was like a beige slash yellow, and I used that to create that moldy, disgusting burn side, and it came out really, really nice. Now, the only thing I was worried about at this time, because like I said, I did like 5 coats of the white paint going over it with the black dirty
dry brushing and it wasn't working. So I decided to go over the white again, but this time what I did was I made it completely brown. So I painted it brown and brushed away the excess, and then I dabbed on the white, similar how I did with the black. And I did not water down the paint this time for the white. I just did it dry and wiped away the excess, and I got this really nice detailed look because the brown brought out all of the details of the mask, and it looked exactly how I wanted it to in the first place. Like I said, this is something that you really want to take your time with. This is something that I thought of because it was just trial and error at this point, and I was getting really confused on why it wasn't staying the way it was. So, after I'd thought of this idea, as you can see, it being completely brown and then rubbing away all of that Axis brown paint brought out all the details I needed. And then just simply dabbing on and wiping off all of the Axis white paint really gave it that look that I needed, because not only did it bring out the details, but because the white seemed faded and it wasn't polished and it felt like it was like really on, it really brought out what I wanted. After many times of dabbing it and really getting that detail, because you can already see the difference between this and how it was before, the dabbing really did what it needed to. I started to add the dry blood that was on his cheek and then on his neck, and I also added dry blood on the top of his forehead before I added on the hair. So this was the easiest process of making this mask better, and now we move on to the hairline. Oh boy, the hairline was very complicated because at first I reused the hairline like I mentioned before, like most people do, but the only thing with this hairline is that it was really rugged and it was really hard to unmat it, and it was just a mess. Now, what I did here for whoever wanted to use the hairline, at the time I used super glue. If you want to use super glue, you can, because it did stick, but it just is very fast, so I wouldn't recommend it. But for the time being, I thought, hey, the hairline looked pretty good, and I was like, okay, we're going to use it. Now, from an angle, like this angle here, it does look pretty good, but from the front, it did not look good whatsoever, and it bothered me for a few days. So what I did was I had an old Michael Myers mask that was from 2018, the 2018 version, and the hair was really intact. It was really good. So I went back in and I glued pieces of that hair onto this Michael Myers mask, and you get a far better result. As you can see here, the hairline was just way better. The hair looked a lot more puffy like it did in the movie. It didn't look crumbled on both sides. Like, it was really just trial and error with this mask, and I was really happy with how the hairline came out, because for the hairline it was really difficult. And the second time around, I did not use super glue. I used tacky glue, which is the glue that I used going forward, because it was way better. It let me put where I wanted to put the hair, and if I needed to redo it, it would not stick instantly like super glue. So tacky glue will be your friend if you want to use it for a Michael Myers mask. It's very easy to use and very convenient. So if I was anybody when it comes to rehairing a Michael Myers mask, I would definitely use tacky glue. The final step for the Halloween Ends Michael Myers mask is you apply the cobwebs, and once again I used tacky glue. Now, I really liked how this mask came out. I will definitely do things differently the next time I do a Michael Myers mask, but for Halloween Ends, I'm really happy with the result. And this mask just really came up to my liking. For the cobwebs, I used cotton balls and tacky glue, and I used a brush, and I just went along the seams of the mask and then painted on the glue, and then just started stretching out the cobwebs. and the mask really came out to how I liked. It has that really good lighting to it, the texture, everything about the mask is really, really good. And yeah, my next video is going to be on the coveralls, which I also recorded. But for now, this is my Michael Myers mask rehaul, and I will see you guys in the next one.